Hello everybody, this is Sapphire here, bringing you another exciting replay. Um, yeah, this game we've got mOOnGLaDe spawning as the blue Zerg and Hwani spawning as the red Protoss. So we've got two well-known characters, two high-level players here, so looking forward to a really good game. It's on Blistering Sands, so lots of stuff can happen. It's, part of the replay pack that mOOnGLaDe sent across to us, so looking forward to a interesting match. Now, just looking at the APM, it's already quite high, as you'd expect from these kind of players. So, you know, don't want to make too much of it at this point, and just be curious to see whether Hwani does some kind of two-gate pressure, try to force mOOnGLaDe into a one-base play, especially on a map like Blistering Sands, when you can move gateway units across the map really, really early. So we're just seeing, looks like a 9 pylon go down, probably going to see a very fast gateway from Hwani. I'll be curious to see whether he goes for the second gateway or straight into gas and Psycore. Just see how much pressure he's going to do, and whether or not mOOnGLaDe's going to opt to go down and throw down this fast expansion, or just make a one-base play, possibly into Roach. So I feel like the ball's kind of in Hwani's court here as to how much pressure he wants to apply early on. And we are seeing mOOnGLaDe scout him out. Just likewise, we're seeing the mirror from Hwani. He's scouting with his probe here. So we might see a gas steal perhaps from mOOnGLaDe, like we saw in the previous game, but looks like he's happy just to get that early information, find out when Hwani does the throw down his gas. And we are seeing that second gateway go down for Hwani. So now mOOnGLaDe may be tempted not to throw down that expansion, and he has looks like a 13 pool, possibly thinking about a 15 hatch. I would expect to see gas going up, which there is. So we may see one base Speedling and one base Roach. I'm not quite sure what mOOnGLaDe will opt for here. We are seeing this first Zealot being chrono boosted, and mOOnGLaDe's picking up all the scouting information. He's got his drone watching all of this, and we're seeing the pylon go down at the base of the ramp here. So Hwani is being a little bit aggressive. I mean, he can pressure early, but there is no expansion for him to go after. So if this early pressure doesn't come, he can actually position himself here for take a fast expansion possibly. So I feel like the ball's in the Protoss court at this point, where we see mOOnGLaDe going for a one-base play at the moment, and we are seeing that Roach Warren go down. So he is kind of being cornered into a one-base build, one-base Roach after seeing that second gateway go down. And we are seeing a Forge go down, so it looks like Hwani may be transitioning to Forge Fast Expand, seeing that there is no expansion for him to pressure. So I'll be interested to see how mOOnGLaDe's going to respond to this, because if these cannons go down and the positioning's solid enough, Hwani will be able to throw down his expansion and possibly get his up before mOOnGLaDe does. And the last thing a Zerg wants is to be out-macroed by a Protoss. So we're just seeing these Zerglings, these initial Zerglings, trying to get this kill on this pylon, which they finally do. And now they're retreating, not interested in messing with this very, very fearsome wall of Zealots here, like gladiators with light sticks. So yeah, we are seeing that cannon go down, so I'd imagine we might see a 400 middle save and then an expansion throwdown. mOOnGLaDe himself is expanding, so his reaction is not to go straight after this expansion. He's throwing down an expansion of his own. So yeah, really interesting opening here with this transition into forward fast expand. We're seeing two cannons. I like the positioning from Hwani. I mean, it's a big wide open choke, so taking that choke isn't really that advantageous, especially when he needs to block a run by Zerglings. He'd need to block it all off if he wanted to prevent a run by, whereas he can now channel the Zerglings into this little killing ground here and force the Zerglings to run in between the cannon and the pylon, and he's got his Zealots in front to defend the cannon. So yeah, I like this positioning by Hwani. I like the fact that he's transitioned into 2-gate into fast expansion, so this macro is going to be pretty even, and from a Zerg point of view, you don't really want to be even with a Protoss in macro. You kind of want to be ahead. So those first Roaches are coming out, and they're picking off another scout of Hwani. So mOOnGLaDe's being pretty on the ball with denying these scouts, so Hwani may be forced to resort to other measures, maybe a Robo-Bay if he's really desperate for information, but at this point he just seems to be throwing down his Psycore finally, so we might see some tech finally coming out there. There's no more Zealots being produced, so he seems content with his position at the moment, while both players are just macroing up. Not too many Roaches being produced at the moment for mOOnGLaDe. He does have a lot of minerals and resources saved, so we may see a lair going down soon, or he's perhaps saving lava for mass Roaches. But no, he's droning up, getting a few Roaches, but mainly we're just seeing lots and lots of drones going on here as he tries to get his natural expansion online. Meanwhile, Hwani is getting his own expansion online, so this is very, very even at this point. Really, we've got this Overlord Sacrifice Scout seeing all that's going on, so really nice scouting here by mOOnGLaDe, using that early advantage and the fact that there's no Stalkers out. Yet we've got one being Chronobisted in now, which will be able to deny this scout, but it was really nice play there by mOOnGLaDe to opt for this scout right now. Perfect timing. And we're seeing Warp Gate research coming online for Hwani, so and he's burning a bit of Chrono Boost on that, so we may see some more tech. No, we're seeing a third gateway, so we'll see if he transitions into perhaps a 4-gate here and goes fully ground, or whether we do see some kind of tech come out. I imagine he might want to try and hide his tech a little bit from these scouting overlords, but mOOnGLaDe seems to be on top of the scouting, so Hwani's probably going to have a bit of an issue trying to hide that tech. Meanwhile, mOOnGLaDe is taking the gold expansion, so he's content to macro up and be a little bit aggressive here, taking this gold expansion. If Hwani sees this, he's going to really want to try and take it out. I mean, he's macroing up himself pretty nicely, just looking at the income tab here. We are seeing mOOnGLaDe a little bit ahead, as you'd expect, because it's taking a little bit longer for Hwani to bring his expansion online, but that's going to take a serious jump if mOOnGLaDe is able to get this gold online. So this could be a big point of contention early on in this game. While we're seeing yet another scout denied by mOOnGLaDe, so I'm liking how he keeps moving these roaches out to try and intercept these scouts that he knows will be coming. Especially when he moves them to this point on this cliff, there's not really that much room for these scouts to sort of maneuver around roach, their attack range. So yeah, no, really solid play from mOOnGLaDe at the moment. Although Hwani's not panicking, he just seems to be sticking to his game plan. His 2-gate forced mOOnGLaDe into an initial 1-base, and now that mOOnGLaDe has expanded, he was on time to expand at the same time as Hwani. So Hwani seems to be sticking to his game plan here, and I like it quite a lot. Although there is this gold expansion, the Queen's on the way, the first drone is there, so if this starts getting saturated, mOOnGLaDe's really going to pull ahead. And we have seen him tech into Hydras now, and the range research, which is absolutely crucial, is coming online. He has quite a few lava stockpiled as well, so he's been pretty on the ball with that, and he has been saving them for a bit. He's spending really, really heavily, as you should be, so he's playing quite well here. Meanwhile, Hwani himself is also spending quite well, as you'd expect from this level of play. And you'll note, looking at this higher level of play, that both players just stay completely on top of the supply, which you'd expect at a much higher level. At lower levels, players tend to get supply cap really, really easily, so this is something, if you're watching it at home, to sort of pay attention to. mOOnGLaDe, again, with a really nice scout here, sending in his Overlord with the upgraded speed. So mOOnGLaDe's getting all this information, seeing this 5-gate go down, not seeing any tech buildings yet from Hwani, so he's probably pretty comfortable. Seeing it's another 2 gateways go down, so we're seeing a 7-gate from Hwani. So obviously feels comfortable that his 2-base play is going to be able to support this. So mOOnGLaDe's picking it all up. He's going to see the 7-gate, he's going to see the 3 warp gates already online. So unless this is a fake out that's going to change when the Overlord goes down, we will see a heavy, heavy gateway build from Hwani. Meanwhile, mOOnGLaDe is sending Overlords all over the place to get this scouting information. His gold is online. So yeah, both players macroing up really nicely here. Rocks being destroyed by mOOnGLaDe, probably thinking about taking yet another base. So in terms of income, mOOnGLaDe is just pulling away right now. Although there has been a bit of Chrono Boost burn on economy here for Hwani, so he does have quite good saturation at his natural. But just really good macro ability here by mOOnGLaDe, especially with bringing this gold online. And we are seeing more and more drones being produced there. So I imagine that mOOnGLaDe's really going to start to pull ahead. He's starting to spread a nice amount of creep here too, and we are seeing once again another sacrifice scout by mOOnGLaDe, which he's really got to do as a Zerg player, and he's just picked up this entire unit composition of Hwani, seeing his initial building, seeing what's hiding in his expansion, no hidden tech buildings anywhere down there. We are seeing this pylon on the side here by Hwani, so he's got some room to hide some tech now. Although he seems to be moving out with these stalkers, he's got a heavy stalker army mixed with sentries and a few zealots. Meanwhile, this Hydra Roach army is coming in to engage it. The Speedling's coming in now, so mOOnGLaDe is not intimidated whatsoever, trying to deny this proxy pylon that Hwani was trying to get in place. So it's a bit of shadowboxing going in. First blood to the Hydra Roach Ball, but Hwani didn't really lose anything other than the proxy pylon. Most of his units are in pretty good shape, so he's moving back out again, looks confident now. The careful thing mOOnGLaDe has to be aware of is there's so many sentries, so if they get caught out on one of these ramps, we're going to see force field mania. So he's probably going to want to engage in the open field, which is where this Overlord positioning is coming into play. Now we're seeing that exact same thing. mOOnGLaDe is moving out with a big concave of roaches and hydras. Hwani's wisely recognizing the problem here and backing off to this ramp, trying to force mOOnGLaDe to fight him on his own terms. Neither player